just talking about dynamics for a second. I am not married. I have a life partner. I've been with him for we're going on 10 years now, and we have just decided we don't wish to be married. We don't need marriage in our relationship. We have met later on in life. I know both of you fine ladies are married. And I was having a discussion with somebody the other day, and I think this is more common, but I think people don't talk about it too often. So I'm going to ask you kind of a personal question. Do you share the same bedroom with your husbands, or do you have separate bedrooms?
I wish I had separate bedrooms. That would be amazing. I like it back in the day, didn't like the royalty. They had like they separate. Oh yeah, like snoring, the movement, not putting stuff where I want it to be. But no, I just have the same bedroom.
What
Miss
size bed do
Trace,
you have?
King.
King.
He's tall, like king.
Miss Tracy?
Yes, we still sleep in the same room. Although I'm fortunate enough to have a spare bedroom so
Mm.
that when things are not, if I've got a cold, like I go through periods where I don't sleep very well and I'm just like tossing and turning and I will get up and I will leave and go sleep in the spare bedroom, more so just out of a courtesy of I don't want to disturb you. I don't want to disturb Dave, so I'll leave. But yeah, no, we share the same bedroom.
Michelle.
So, so Pete and I, like I said, been together 10 years, living together 9. We slept in the same room 6 months. And we do, well, I'm going to say for not 80% of our time together, we do not. We have separate bedrooms. Because I snore, he snores, but not in the same time. So it's like one night I'll be the snoring fiend and he can't sleep. And the next night he's the snoring fiend. And I'm like, come on. I am an early sleeper. I go to bed early. That's my decompression. I've always been like that my whole life. I was never a night owl. And I'm up at 4:30 every morning. I'm up. I do things. Mona's up at 5:30 and it works easier. Um, and I have found that like when we're up at when we have company, so if company comes here, because we're only a 2 bedroom, this couch pulls out if we have extra. Then I go in there. If we go on vacation, I go there. If I wish to visit him at night, I go in there. Let's be honest. It's not, you know what I'm saying? But I kind of like it. Like I just like you were saying, Tracy G, like there's sometimes I wish, you
Yeah,
know.
for sure.
And I think it's like just now, he's taking a nap right now. And he went in and took a nap. But then I walk in and I see things in the room and I'm like, oh, that's not in my room. And like mine has different things in it. My books are out and this and that. And I just think both ways are right. I think both ways
Oh
are
yeah.
good for a relationship. And I
Yeah.
think both ways are okay. You don't have to. Let's just say I was in a relationship that if I left the bed because that person was snoring, that person would come and wake me up to bring me back to bed. I always had to be by that side.
Mm.
And that was very hard and very
Mhm.
daunting, you know. Um, but I don't know. Have you like
I'd
I
say,
Wouldn't,
think this is way more common than you think. Like
yeah, that's
I've
what,
read a gazillion articles about young couples even, way younger than us, who you wouldn't be thinking would be having separate rooms, have separate rooms. And like you say, there's intimacy that is still shared, and then
hmm
they go off to their
hmm
separate rooms. And I've read that it's
well,
actually
they're allowed to
healthier
stay the
for
night.
you. And
They're allowed to
huh?
stay the night.
hmm
Yes, yes. I mean, but you know what I
They
mean? Like
stay the
it's
night.
like I don't think it's that much of an anomaly that people are doing that. And in fact, I think it's good that it's actually being talked about and it's not being kept behind closed doors. Because I think certainly for our era, right, it
Right.
would be like kind of weird that you're sleeping in different rooms. There's a problem with the relationship if that's what's
Exactly.
happening. Not
And in
that there's just a choice of, you know what, I just want a good night's sleep, which I do better on my own.
But
the
that goes back
beginning,
to that too, is that
yeah.
sleep, I truly believe is your superpower. And as women, as we age with, menopause and night sweats and all that, like it would just be nice to have a good night's sleep, that you do
Mhm.
everything you possibly can to have a good night's sleep, which only makes you a better partner. And I think it is that it's again society going, oh, well, what's going on here with the relationship?
Exactly. And that's why I wanted to bring it up because in the beginning, we never said anything. Like we never told people. Like it wasn't like if someone came over the house, the other room looked like nobody slept in that room. Like
Mhm.
it didn't look
Isn't that funny?
like
We
it was
felt the need for that, eh?
yeah. And it was just, it was maybe, and now it's like, no crack. I could give a damn what anybody thinks. Maybe that came with age, security. I know where my relationship is with him, and I could care less what anybody else thinks. It's because it's my relationship, it's nobody else's. And when we went into this house here, I just automatically, like, there were always twin beds in the other room. And I went to him, nope, I want a queen size bed. I went out and bought my bed I wanted, and I got the mattress I wanted. And if somebody comes over because he's so tall also, I'll go into the king size bed and that's no problem. No problem whatsoever, you know? And but I was just like it was like I'm like need to talk about this
I think it's a
because
luxury. I think that,
yeah,
like I think that is a real luxury that you're able to do that. I think you didn't tell anyone because everyone would be jealous.
really. Well, maybe because it was in the beginning of our relationship
So,
and
sorry.
people
So, how
would
did
have
that
been like,
happen? How did you have a discussion? That's like for 6 months in? Six
yeah,
months in,
well,
and you're going, dude, I want my own room.
no, it was actually the opposite, to be honest with you. I went out on a business trip and I came back and I walked into the master bedroom and I looked at him and I looked back at the bed and I said, this bed hasn't been slept in. And he says, no, I don't like this mattress. And I'm really comfortable in because we combined two households at that time. And I'm very comfortable in that other room. So that's where I want to sleep. But I don't know how to tell you about that because I don't want to hurt your feelings because it has nothing to do with you. It just is. And it could have been because we're later in life.
Yeah.
We were single for a while, and it could have been when we got together, it was like we're kind of used to like our own things we do. Like, and he goes, and I looked at him and I'm like, if this had nothing to do with it, I've had it. Are you kidding me? I've had it. And then little by little, it's just like if somebody was walking here, I could care less what they think. Like everything else I own is still in the master bedroom. We still do the master closets together. I share the master bathroom. Everything's there. The only thing is when it comes time for sleep, I curl up and sometimes I curl up and I'm like you, Tracy, when you were talking about sometimes I have sleep. That's me. Sometimes I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Okay, what am I going to do today? Let me think. Can I go out and vacuum?
Crazy.
No, I can't go vacuum. I can't do this. Now I just sit up turn on my light, I read for a while, you know,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and I get to like spend time with Michelle. Okay. Oh, I'm getting tired. Well, I can shut the light off now and go to sleep without disturbing anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, it
So
just
I
doesn't
was
matter if you're
like,
flopping around. That's what happens with me. I wake
yeah,
up and I'll lie there for a bit and then it's like, oh God, this is going to be a while. And then
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
really hyper aware
Hmm.
of my body movements because I'm like, oh God, Oh, and only because, like Dave will say, like, the next day, wow, you're flopping around like a fish last night. What was the matter? Like, what was going on? I'm like, oh, I should have just gone to the other room and slept there for God's sake. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's interesting, but I think it's way more common than people talk about.
Tracy, did you record this?
Hmm.
Does it show recording? Oh, it
Yeah.
does. Okay.
Mhm.
All
Don't
right.
freak
You
me
can.
out.
It did. It went away from my screen, and I'm
Oh,
like,
okay.
holy crap. Okay, you could bleep that out or leave it in. I don't care.
It's all
So,
part of the process. I don't
yeah,
think
Uh-huh.
it's even the thing about more common. I just think it's something that shouldn't ever be looked in an odd way. I think if you
Yes.
no,
get just like you do fitness or you do certain eating types, if this is what makes you have a better night's sleep and it doesn't affect your relationship, I say 100% go for it.
Yeah.
100.
yeah, yes, I think so. And I think it needs to be more um, talked about. You could have that conversation, especially if you have children in the house. And you know how sometimes
Yeah,
everything can just, and you just want a really good night's sleep, or like you were talking about, snoring, or for me, it was sometimes the hot flashes and it was the insomnia, or especially when I'm training, sometimes I have to get up really early
right.
when I was training for
Mhm.
my races, or my body just hurt so bad from training, or currently when I was recovering, when I recovered
Sure.
from my cancer and recovered from this. I mean, I had to have like 6 pillows around me to hold everything in place
Mm.
like this so drains didn't fall out and it's trying to sleep. So I think what you said, Tracy G, we think how it's supposed to be. And I think we need to learn to do what works best for you in your
Yes.
relationship.
Yes.
Mhm. Well, remember we never used to talk about menopause and now you can't get away from it.
Yes.
Everyone's talking
No.
about it.
Yeah.
Michelle, you just started the whole you don't have to sleep in the same room trend. And in 3 years, when everyone's talking about it, we're going to remember it started here.
But I think it's funny. We have Tracy G, who's like, "Oh, I wish I had the space." We have Tracy E, who's like, "Yep, I have a room that I go to when I can't sleep." And here's me. Nope, I got my own room. Mhm. I have my own room. I
But
just think it's
it's
funny.
but here's what's important. It's doing what is right for you. It all comes back to
Yeah.
that. If you have the capability, like if you have the space and all of that, it's about doing what is right for
Exactly.
you. Because ultimately, as we know, when we take care of us, that ripple goes out to everybody else that's around us. Everything else
Yep.
becomes better. So yeah,
Yes. Yes.
absolutely.
And listen to your intuition when it says, you know what? I think this works better for me, and not be
Yes.
scared to
Yeah.
embrace it.
Yes,
Nope.
absolutely.
Embrace it. So let us know what you think. Put it
Mhm.
down in the comments. Are you pro same room? Are you, "Hmm, I want my own little room." Let us know. And again, share this with somebody who you know that's probably been thinking about this. We're giving them permission to do what's best for them. If you like this episode, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to hit notifications so you know when our next episode comes out. Until next time.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you as a regular member of our community.